There's a specific feeling that happens in the middle of a crowded room. You are smiling, you are nodding, you are saying the right things, but inside there's a quiet, heavy thought that does not leave. I am here, but I am not really here. If you have ever looked around a room full of friends or family and felt a sudden distance between you and them, this video is for you. If you often feel like you are on the outside looking in, like everyone else received a manual on how to belong and yours got lost somewhere along the way, then pay close attention, because that feeling of not belonging anywhere is not just a mood. It is not just you being overly sensitive, and it is definitely not a sign that you are broken. There is a psychological reason why your mind can feel like a stranger in familiar places, and once you understand it, you may stop seeing this feeling as a flaw and start seeing it as a signal. You clicked on this video because you want to know why you feel this way. You want to know if it is normal to feel like a guest in your own life. So let's start there. You are not alone in this. Millions of people move through life with a quiet sense of disconnection, even when they are surrounded by others. But here's the part most people miss. We usually think belonging is just about finding the right people, but psychology suggests that for some people, the feeling of not belonging is actually a form of protection. It is a mental shield that may have formed a long time ago, and it is still active now. So the real question is this: why does your brain refuse to fully relax in social spaces, even when there is no obvious danger? And the answer goes deeper than simple introversion. Because this is not just about being quiet or liking time alone. It is about the hidden psychological wiring that can make you feel more like an observer than a participant. It is about the mental pattern that keeps you slightly outside the moment, even when you want to be inside it. And once you understand that pattern, the way you see yourself may begin to change. First, we need to understand what belonging looks like for most people. For many people, belonging is simple. It comes from shared context, shared humor, shared routines, being in the same environment and moving with the same social rhythm. For them, that level of connection is enough. But for you, belonging may feel something deeper. You do not just want to be in the room, you want to feel seen in the room. And that creates an important difference. Because when you enter a social space, you may not just be looking for conversation, you may be looking for emotional safety. Somewhere in the background, your mind is asking a quiet question. Is it safe to be my full self here? And if that question is active, then even a normal interaction can feel mentally exhausting. So why is your brain asking that question so intensely? Why does it feel like there is a barrier between you and other people, even when they are kind, welcoming, or familiar? Part of the answer lies in how your brain processes social information. Most people walk into a room and place their attention outward. They focus on the conversation, the atmosphere, the activity. But if you often feel like you don't belong, your attention may turn inward instead. You become highly aware of yourself. You notice people's expressions, you analyze shifts in tone, you monitor your own behavior in real time. Am I talking too much? Am I too quiet? Did that sound awkward? Did I say the wrong thing? This kind of pattern is often connected to something psychologists call rejection sensitivity or social hypervigilance. That does not mean there is something wrong with you. It means your brain has become very good at detecting possible social threats. It's like having a smoke alarm that is slightly too sensitive. It still protects you, but sometimes it reacts to steam as if it were fire. And this creates a difficult problem, because the more your mind monitors the interaction, the less fully you are able to enter it. You become so busy analyzing the moment that you stop living inside the moment. You become a spectator in your own life, and over time, that creates a feeling that is hard to describe. You are there, but not fully there. You are included, but not connected. You are present, but not settled. This is where another layer begins. Many people who feel like they don't belong are not actually missing social ability. They are operating with a different internal system. While others seem to naturally follow the social rhythm around them, You may feel like you are still trying to figure out the rules. It can feel like everyone else knows something you don't, like they understand how to flow naturally in groups, how to relax, how to belong without effort, and you don't. But often, this pattern didn't come from nowhere. It may come from early experiences where belonging felt conditional. If you grew up feeling misunderstood, emotionally overlooked, or surrounded by unpredictable reactions, your brain may have learned something very specific. It may have learned that belonging is not automatic. It has to be earned by being careful, by being aware, by adjusting yourself, by performing in the right way. And if your brain learned that early enough, then even safe environments can still trigger the old pattern. You may look calm on the outside, but internally, your mind is still waiting for the moment when something shifts, the moment when you are misunderstood, the moment when the mask slips, the moment when connection disappears. So what if the reason you feel like you don't belong is not because you are failing socially? What if it is because your mind is still protecting you from a type of pain it learned to expect? Now, here's the part that changes the entire picture. Sometimes the feeling of not belonging is not just about fear. Sometimes it's also about depth. People who feel like they don't belong anywhere are often highly self-aware. They are often more open, more observant, and more conscious of what's happening beneath the surface. They notice the social scripts that other people follow without thinking. They notice when conversations feel hollow. They notice when people are performing instead of connecting. They notice the gap between what is said and what is actually felt. And because they notice more, they connect less easily to shallow environments. This can create alienation, yes, but it can also create truth. Because sometimes what feels like disconnection is really your mind rejecting forms of belonging that are not genuine enough for you. Think about the last time you felt out of place. Was it just anxiety? Or did part of you also feel understimulated, emotionally unseen, or strangely disconnected from the surface-level nature of what was happening? Did the conversation feel shallow? Did you feel like you were pretending? Did you feel like you had to reduce yourself just to remain comfortable in the space? If so, then maybe your feeling of not belonging was not random. Maybe it was information. Maybe it was your mind telling you that the environment didn't match your inner depth. And that leads to a very important reframe. Belonging is not about forcing yourself to fit into every room. It is not about being accepted by everyone, and it is not about becoming easier to understand just to feel included. Real belonging is different. Real belonging is finding spaces where you don't have to perform. It is finding people around whom your nervous system softens instead of tightens. It is being with people who do not require you to translate yourself every second. And once you understand that, something shifts. You stop treating your disconnection like a defect. You stop seeing it as proof that something is wrong with you, and you start seeing it as a compass, a signal, a sign that your mind is searching for something more honest, more grounded, and more real. That doesn't mean the feeling is easy. It can still be painful, but painful doesn't mean meaningless. Sometimes the people who feel like they don't belong anywhere are the very people who are least willing to settle for false belonging. And maybe that's not weakness. Maybe that's discernment. Maybe that's depth. Maybe that's the beginning of self-understanding. If this video made you feel seen, and if it helped you understand yourself a little more clearly, then take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe for more psychology content like this. And until then, remember this: feeling like you don't belong is not always a sign that something is wrong with you. Sometimes it simply means you are searching for something deeper, something more real. I will see you in the next one.